This is genuinely insane as the Toronto Maple Leafs crush the Vegas Golden Knights in a game that saw the referees make one of the more controversial calls I've seen in a while, or I guess no calls technically. We saw Joseph Woll with a huge shutout, and ultimately in a game where the Leafs were handicapped, there was no Austin Matthews, there was no Max Domi, there was no a lot of guys. They come out, they have a statement win against one of the best teams in the league, and they are moving up that standings ranking. Darius, a huge win tonight against the Vegas Golden Knights. I said before the stream off camera that I thought the Leafs were going to come out and win tonight, and they did just that. What an absolutely electric win. What's up, Paul, Focal, Marshall, John, everybody that's in here. I'm back. Obviously, I haven't been here. The Leafs have barely been playing. Shout out to Darius, who held it down on Saturday. But Darius, massive win. There's a lot to go over in today's game. Just an absurd amount. Matthew Nyes might be out now for a little bit. We'll have an update on him. He didn't return. What an absurd game. And Darius definitely has some things to say surrounding the hit, and we're going to dive into the hit. But first, what a massive win. Welcome in, everybody, and hopefully we're all doing well.
Where do we want to start, Nick? Where do we want to start? Because I feel like a lot of people are going to want to get into Nyes right away. But we can start with, let's start with some of the smaller things. And they're not really smaller things. They're big things. Joseph Woll with a big shutout. That's my guy. That is my goalie. I'm glad that he's back. He's feeling good and he's playing really well. And they're playing well in front of him. So Joseph Woll, my guy with the shutout again tonight, his second of the season and his first on home ice in his career, which is fantastic. So he played fantastic again tonight. Rebound control, a little suspect, I will say, but we're going to take the positives today. And
Jim,
fantastic stuff.
Jim's starting us early. Jim, thank you so much. And yeah, this is going to be a wild stream. There's a lot to go over. I'll let the donation play out. Too much good in the one. Injuries, outshot, next man up, arguably their most complete game of the season. Playoff intensity. Definitely playoff intensity. We saw hits after every single... the refs completely blew it. Shutout, first goal, suspension. Okay, we'll start with the shutout, and like you were saying, Darius. I'll let you continue there. Thank you so much, Jim. I completely agree. It was the most complete game I think I've seen from them all year, up there with I think it was the Tampa Bay game as well. But huge win. What's up, Jose? Hope you're doing well. What's up, Mikkel? There's a lot of welcome everybody in. But Darius, we can continue with the. Thank you again, Jim. We'll continue with the Joseph Woll, and he is your guy. And I was looking forward to an Anthony Solar start, but he did it. Fraser Minton too. We're into him.
There is so much to get into, and I'm being reminded of things in the chat right now as we get through it. But Joseph Woll, just to tie a bow on it, I thought he was great. A little bit suspect on the rebound control tonight, but that's all good because the guys cleared it. In terms of being outshot, I'm not worried about that because they closed the gap near the end, and they were like on the penalty kill for half the game until the third period. They only got their first power play in the third period, so. Everything is good. Everything is good. They're playing well. I like what Craig Berube has them doing, and the young guys too coming up. I was worried like they would kind of look out of place, and throughout the game, maybe they'd end up on the fourth line or not really playing. They didn't look out of place. Gurbankin is a beauty. He is a good player. I love Gurbankin. Unfortunately, he, when everyone's healthy, he's not going to have a spot, but that guy is going to be a player. I love that guy throwing his body around. So, he's fantastic. Love that player. And even Minton, there's still lots to learn from him. He's young, but gets his first goal. Awesome. It's a good feeling. He was smiling and everything like that. He still looks so young, which is crazy, but yeah, it was a good game. Great game.
Yeah, a very wild one. What's up, Aiden Paul? Chat's going fast today. Gurbankin can play on my team any day. Yeah, Gurbankin obviously had a great game. We can dive into it a little bit. He does look like a grown man. We'll dive into his hitting stuff in a minute, but we can kind of just go over the general stuff here. So,
and we're gonna get into the nice stuff in a second.
Yeah, the nice stuff.
I really want to deep dive into that.
We'll definitely get into that. So, Mitch Marner, 2 assists. Matthew Nyes only played 9 minutes. Pontus Holberg got, of course, the empty net goal. There was a lot of things, and Benoit, coming off of a healthy scratch in back-to-back games, had a phenomenal game, his best game of the season. I don't think it was necessarily close. He had 4 hits, I believe, in the first period, 7 hits total. You had, the physicality. You had OEL getting physical after the Nyes hit. You had, of course, Chris Tanev with a phenomenal game again, 2 massive blocks early in the second period. You had Steven Lorentz you got 2 massive blocks. So, yes. Everybody was kind of playing their role, and Minton, of course, got the goal. He played 15 minutes. Oh, my Lord. Jim with the 10 gifted memberships. So everybody in the chat, if you're getting it, Brittany, Mitchell, everybody, thank Jim in the chat. Jim, thank you so much. You now have access to a bunch of emotes and a bunch of other things. We're adding emotes every single week. So if you shout out to everybody in there, Jim, thank you so much. I'll throw this up for you. Thank you so much, Jim, for that. What's up, Josh? Hope you're doing well. Jim, Thank you so much. Yeah, if you got a member, if you got gifted a member, thank Jim. You have a bunch of new emotes, stole ours. We made a bunch of new ones. So thank you again, Jim. And everybody thank Jim in the chat. Say thank you, Jim. But
Thank you, Jim.
yeah,
Thank you, Jim. I'm saying thank you.
so many
Never mind
things.
everyone in the chat.
Robo
Thank
still
you.
hasn't scored, just for what it's worth. And we'll definitely get into
Robo
the hit in a
has
little
not
bit.
scored, yeah.
But I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Benoit played great. Lorenz played great. Almost everybody played great. I love the way Connor Dewar even had a good game, playing 15 minutes, playing fourth line center. So
this is what I wanted to touch on and that you brought up. Everyone had a good game. And that's what you need out of your team. Like not a single player, like somebody's going to be last on the impact chart when we finally take a look at it. Everyone had a good game. Not a single player was not engaged. It was fantastic. And maybe it was because of that hit and obviously the physicality of the game. Everyone was engaged and playing well. I can't remember the last time Nylander played this well. Like he took over the game at points. Way too much time and space for him on that second goal, by the way. Like he is definitely going to put that in the net. And yeah, everyone played fantastic. Marner doing his thing again. Thought he had another great game. Is very noticeable. Everybody locked in. OEL with the patience again. Like nobody's really talking about these little things. Tanev getting the puck out. Like everyone played fantastic tonight. And obviously the focus was on the young guys. They were great too. But even the fourth line, Lorentz, I'm glad that you brought that up. 2 big blocks. Like everybody was engaged. Everybody was rolling. Not a single player could I look at tonight and be like, that player stunk. So that is a good thing. It was a really good game.
yeah, people are jumping the gun on the 3 stars. We'll get into it towards the end of the stream. So definitely stick around for the 3 stars. Yeah, I mean everyone's gonna get a star. William Nylander 6 shots. Joseph Wall shut out 31 shots. Chris Tanev with a phenomenal game. Fraser Minton. Nikita Grabenkin throwing his body around, which we can get into it now a little bit.
Let's get into it.
Jim Cavers, Darius, Kevin Holmberg, but probably played incredible tonight. Best game of the season for sure.
Yes.
Best game of the season for sure. Okay, let's talk about the story of the night, and we do have some footage to show you all. We will drag the footage. So let's start with the first little bit of instigation towards the end of the first period. So bear with me here. So this was the first play, and this was Nikita Grabenkin's hit from behind, and it was not called. So now I'm not saying it was a retaliation, but I'll play it one more time for you all. And again, this was the Nikita Grabenkin hit earlier in the first, in case you missed it, okay? Probably should have been a penalty. I mean, it should have been a penalty. Was it dangerous? A little bit. That's the way he plays. I'm not going to take too much odds in this, but here we are. That's Matthew Knies getting hit from White Cloud.
We have a couple angles here. Yeah, we have a couple angles here that we'll let roll.
Now, there is a couple things we'll get into, and I think it definitely, and I asked some, and Darius, we've been talking to some people who aren't Leafs fans. They agree it should have been at least a penalty, maybe not a major, but at least a penalty. Like, everybody in the chat, type yes or no, should that have been a penalty? We can just start with that. Just type yes or no, should it have been a penalty? Also, like the stream if you think it should have been a penalty. We're at 21. This is a crazy stream. Let's try to get to 50 likes. Yep. But I think Matthew Knies will be fine. I'm sure Craig Berube will come out. You have Nikita Grabenkin speaking over there as well.
John is saying he's fine, so there might be something out right now. I haven't seen it yet, but there could be something out about him being fine.
So the question is now, okay, so I think we all agree it should have been a penalty. This angle looks really bad. He leaves his feet, makes contact with the head first. Leaves his feet, contact with the head.
Yep.
This one here, leaves his feet, contact with the head again. Now, if this was the only angle you had, maybe you can make a case he hits shoulder on the side of his shoulder.
Not even to me, but
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. And then you have another hit. I mean, that one's kind of hard to tell. But, I mean, ultimately, he hit him in the head and left his feet. And they reviewed it. And the Leafs had to go on the penalty kill.
Yeah, because that's the way hockey is. Like, I was not surprised that when it was overturned and it wasn't a major, that they were on the penalty kill. I was not surprised at all. That's just the way the sport is. And they want to call it game management and all this garbage. I don't even know what that is at that point. But let's go back. Grabenkin hits, who was it? Petrangelo from behind? No, it's Shea Theodore, right? Their other top defenseman.
Theodore.
Yeah, so Shea Theodore from behind. This is a penalty. Call it a penalty. All of this starts with this play. Call that a penalty. It's a penalty. Hits him from behind in the numbers. Now, it moves on, and obviously the Knies hit happens, right? I am shocked, and honestly, I think disgusted with some of the reactions on Twitter from analysts and the panel of the game. It was absurd what they were saying, because you have some of the guys on the panel, if you can play the clips again of the Knies hit, saying he doesn't leave his feet, which he does, and the principal point of contact isn't the head, which you can see his head buckle here first. It's his head. And on one of the angles, specifically the one in between the benches, I think you can see White Cloud looking up at Nyes, right? Looking up at him at his head. He's going to hit him in the head. Now, is it elbowing?
Woo!
No. His elbow is tucked. I think this is just my opinion again. His elbow is tucked. I don't think it's elbowing, but it's a hit to the head and he leaves his feet. This, at least, it's not the Reeves hit. It's not a 5-game suspension. You have to know better if you're an official in the NHL. This is a 5-minute major. Get this guy out of the game, because then you're going to have shenanigans happening after, which happen. You have to know better than that if you're refereeing in the National Hockey League. Now, I was shocked. PK Subban came out and said it was a clean hit, that you should keep your head up. Luke Gazdic on the panel said the same thing. If you watch the clip again, Nyes' head is up. Is he expecting to get hit? Maybe, but he's not expecting to get hit in the head. His head is up the entire way.
You can see right
in
here.
the blue line. This is absurd. This is an absurd angle. I mean, he leaves his feet and it's the head first. It is absolutely, it's a joke. It's a joke that, like, there was, I understand, you know, at first too, on the live broadcast, I said, whoa, that's a big hit. And you don't really realize what happened, right? When you watch the replay, you're like, that's a hit to the head. Not only is that a hit to the head, but he left his feet. And the rest are looking at the same angles and they determine, no, this player gets to stay in the game. Not only that, the Leafs are going on the penalty kill now. It's a joke. That was a joke. Garbage play. Garbage.
Yeah. Shout out to Benoit for obviously stepping up in the.
Yeah.
And again,
yes.
what a game not to have Ryan Reeves in there. I'm sure maybe he would have fought somebody. We didn't really see a full on fight. It was like weird. You would see fights after every single play, and that's what happened right after this hit, right after the near. Once the play wasn't called, literally the next play after every single whistle, there was a scrum, and then the following play after that, there was a scrum with OEL that turned into 2 penalties. We saw John Tavares bring a guy down like a chokehold kind of thing when they both got penalties. Those were
judo
offsetting.
Flip.
Yeah. So, like, if the NHL would have called this a penalty, whether you want to, even just like, a major should have happened. If you do that, no one, I don't think, complains, especially after the Ryan Reeves thing. Again, the Ryan Reeves one, I still think was a little bit worse.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think White Cloud deserves to necessarily get suspended for 5 games or anything. I don't know if he necessarily deserves to get fully suspended anyway, but the panel comes out and says that it's clean. We all know the reason the panel is saying this, and it's because that they are scared of, the league officials, we'll call them. I won't say any names in this, but they don't want to, call out that and say anything of this. Now, obviously, we can say whatever we want, so it's obviously a horrible
you can argue for this to be a clean hit, absolutely, but the fact that they're playing the hit, like the replay of the hit, while they're describing White Cloud not leaving his feet and the principal point of contact not being the head, is insane to me. Like, I could not believe what I was watching at that moment, right? But I just want to say too, because I see it in the chat a little bit now, it's not a dirty hit. I don't think it's a dirty hit, but it's a hit to the head and he left his feet. So this guy has to leave the game, right? It's a 5-minute major. I don't think it was like malicious. I think he's trying to hit him, but in the moment he comes up high and he leaves his feet, right? But I don't think it's like anything crazy where he was, chicken winging or anything like that. I don't know if it was dirty. I don't know if I would classify it dirty. I think I called Reeves' hit dirty the other day by accident, maybe. I don't know if it was dirty. I think he just missed the mark, right? And he's not that fast of a skater. It was a worse hit than this. It is. But this guy needs a 5-minute major in this game. You have to know better if you're reffing the game, because what do you think was going to happen after that? It was the next play that OEL is going after guys, right? You have to know better. And White Cloud at times too looked a little bit scared on the bench, right? Like they're showing that the close up there, he looked a little bit scared too, which you like to see. And I think, and I'm going to be the guy to say it. If Reeves is there, if Reeves is in the lineup, a little bit of this doesn't happen. I feel like things kind of calm down a little bit after Gurbankin makes that hit. I feel like Reeves is kind of going around saying like, hey, now like nothing's happening here because you're going to have to answer to me. And I know people are thinking that's ridiculous. This year he hasn't fought yet. And a lot of people don't like Ryan Reeves, but I feel like there's a little bit of that was missing as well tonight. So he left his feet, he hit him in the head, and it was a 2-minute penalty.
Yeah. I'm less of a Ryan Reeves fan. So
fair.
I don't, maybe making the call in real time is tough, but no excuse for making a terrible call after the full review. I probably would have called it clean in real time too, but there's also some people are thinking that it was a dirty hit and that he ultimately tried to hit his head. Maybe you can argue whatever you want to argue, but at the end of the day, what's up, Archie? It should have been called, and what also, again, we'll be objective as much as we can. That should have also been called. Like, there's no doubt about
100%.
Yep. So again, whether this was retaliation for that, it's possible, and then of course there was just nonstop retaliation for that afterwards anyways. And then ultimately it ended up cooling down a little bit, but it really didn't. It doesn't usually happen with East versus West. Obviously, other Canadian
Yeah.
teams, it would happen. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the Leafs got the last laugh. They absolutely crushed them. They destroyed the Vegas Golden Knights. They were the better team, I mean, in general. And Joseph
Yep.
Wall is a huge part of that. What's up, Blake? If that was reverse Nas and Whitehead, Nas is tossed and suspended. Yeah, just be consistent with the punishment. I agree, Brittany. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like,
It's true. It's true.
again, the hits are slightly different, but I feel like that's been called around the league as a penalty, a 5-minute major most of the time. And I don't know. It's interesting. We can continue to discuss it, but there was a lot to go over in this game. But this had fans absolutely irate. And I was one of them. I was very mad about this. And I was asking, again, we asked a couple of Habs fans. We asked just in general, and should have been like the initial, I guess, thought was clear penalty. And again, if he didn't leave his feet, maybe it's different. Both feet are off the ground right here, by the way. So I don't know what panel was
Yeah.
talking about. Like, it's pretty obvious to see that. But again,
And he
they're,
and he comes up. Like I remember watching explanations about suspensions where they explain the exact same thing. The player leaves his feet and they explode up.
Jose with the 20. Thank you so much, Jose. Nice win for Wall. Yeah, we can kind of get to the Wall for a little bit here. It was a massive win for Jose Wall. Jose Wall
We
for
got
Joseph Wall. Thank you so much, Jose, for the 20. I thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Your guys' support tonight has been crazy. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes. How many are we at now? We're at 43. We're 7 away from 50.
Very
50 this
close.
early would be crazy. Also, shout out to all the new members. Again, bunch of emotes, bunch of other perks as well. We're getting call-ins going very soon, so obviously members will get priority in call-ins. So if you want to be a member, it's a join button next to the subscribe button. But we can talk about Wall a little bit. Jose, thanks again. Or slash Fraser Minton. I mean, Fraser Minton started off the game with a nice goal off a great pass. What'd you see out of Minton tonight? Did you think it was a solid debut for him this season? He looked like he belonged to me, and I don't know. It looked pretty seamless. Maybe he'll stay. I doubt it, but maybe.
I no, I very much doubt it. You look good though. You didn't look out of place, which I think is a really good thing. And no, I think he looked great. Obviously, got a little bit. I don't want to say lucky. He was driving the net on his goal. He was doing exactly what you need to do. So I like that out of him. And then the rest of the game, he was pretty sound. I think there was another Leafs power play he was playing on where he was, right in front of the net, and he was doing his thing. I love that as well. And then there was a 2-on-1, shorthanded 2-on-1 for Vegas, and he was hustling back. And he didn't, disrupt the play or anything, but the fact that he was hustling back, I think made a difference in the play and why Vegas didn't score or have a clean look. So love that effort out of him too. But yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, not just him, but Gurbankin tonight, were they going to look out of place? Was there going to be a huge gap? I would not say that that's the case. Fraser Minton looked pretty good, but I do think that they're going to pump the brakes with him a little bit because, if you're going to keep one guy up, for me, I think it's Gurbankin because he's played pro before. He really didn't look out of place. He was playing more physical. I really liked his game. And Minton, he's got to go back down. He's got to develop. It's nothing against him. It's just his progression. You
That's
just
also
be careful with him.
what Brad Living said.
Yeah.
And I'll ask the chat as well. Type right now, if you had to keep one on the NHL team for, they'll say, the rest of the season, would you keep Minton or Gurbankin? Just type it in the chat. And again, the answer is probably Gurbankin. We can dive into him a little bit, but I'm curious to see what you all think. Yeah, thank you. I hit 50 likes. Yeah,
Okay,
Jim, Collins are going to be coming. It's going to be a big thing. We're going to make sure it's done right, though. And obviously there's going to be some, I guess, rules to a degree, but we'll definitely, they're going to be getting going. Cause, especially for a game like this, it's sort of been a perfect game, ironically, to have the Collins in, but we're definitely in the process of that. But Gurbankin, I mean, he almost had a goal, and he obviously, he was held, he was tripped, whatever you want to call it, pushed, whatever. The goaltender also just came out of completely just dropped him on the breakaway. What's up, Payne? But Gurbankin made he was playing great defensively, and for a guy who, he is as physical as they come, especially for a guy who's first NHL, first game of the season with the Leafs, he looks like he's ready to go. And it might kind of transition into the question of, I'm not going to maybe start the narrative, but Nick Robertson maybe getting shipped off, and we have Nikita. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I know you're a big Nick Robertson guy. He played fine tonight. He played an okay game. Maybe there's a case to be made that you're better off having Gurbankin. Obviously, one game, not going to overreact. But the way that Nick Robertson's been playing, I know you're probably not going to agree. But I'm curious to see what the chat thinks. What about a little Gurbankin replacement of Nick Robertson in the on the third line there for the rest of the season?
I do think he could use more time with the Marlies, but as the season goes on, if we get to maybe Christmas and Robertson's still not scoring, because that's what he's here to do, I would be a little bit concerned. And yes, I am a Nick Robertson defender, and I do think that he would, he's here to score and he can score in the NHL. But the fact of the matter is he's not right now, and I don't know how good he is for this lineup. This team, they need identity on each line. And Gurbankin could add that. Not only can he score, we've been seeing it with the Marlies. He's really good with the Marlies. Nobody's really talking about him because Alex Nylander is blowing everybody out of the water because he's an NHL player in the AHL. But he's been fantastic. Gurbankin, this is. So I could see him maybe staying with the team like further down the season. I don't know what the plan is. There's still a couple guys on LTIR. So maybe, but all I know is that he did not look out of place. He played fantastic, and they could use more jam that he brings as well. Like he is in your face all the time.
And obviously, I'm going to make a point, but first, thank you so much, Robert. Have a great stream, folks. Or thank you, Focal. He's out now, but have a great stream and win. Thank you, Focal, so much. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Robert, for the donation. Remember the quote, honor, pride, and courage. I know it's early, but if the boys continue the gutsy play with people out, makes me feel better at the playoffs. I completely agree. This is a playoff type game, an absolutely physical battle. And Robert, your support's been great. So thank you so much for that. These are in phenomenal shape, by the way. 12-6-1, like standings wise. This is probably the best I've felt regarding the team in a very long time. Very long time.
They're also first in the Atlantic right now. So
I don't want to jinx it.
Florida has a couple games in hand. So we're not jinxing anything, but they are rolling right now.
I also want to make a point. Also, we're at 65 likes. See if we get to 75. About the Nick Robertson thing. Nikita Gurbankin played more than Nick Robertson tonight, which is a pretty in his first game of the season. I don't know if I feel like we saw more impact tonight from Nikita Gurbankin that we've seen at any point throughout this season from Nick Robertson in general. Now, again, Nick Robertson's gotten a little bit unlucky. He hasn't been bit playing poorly, but I don't know. I feel like I just saw more out of Gurbankin tonight, and the main reason is this. When Nick Robertson isn't scoring the puck, he has a lot less value, and he doesn't play as physical. Nick Gurbankin out there was playing great defensively. We saw a huge diving stick tip play, which probably saved a goal. At the very least, saved a very difficult save from Joseph Woll. I'm not going to say Nick Robertson won't do that and can't do that, but I feel like we saw more from Gurbankin, and when you're not scoring, he does more things. And if you're going to be getting that anyway, you're better off playing a younger player like Nikita Gurbankin. And Robertson, he hasn't been able to score. Don't think it's fully his fault, but I'm kind of all in on Gurbankin over Robertson here. But I also don't think Robertson's value is super high right now, unfortunately. And Easton Cowan is another conversation. I think they let him marinate down in the AHL for a very long time. 52-game point streak, though. He's barely holding on.
Crazy. Cowan is insane in the OHL right now, but he shouldn't be there. It's just the CHL. It's the CHL rule that is keeping him there. He shouldn't be there. Like, all things equal, he should be in the AHL. But to get back to Gurbankin versus Robertson, or not even that, I guess, whatever. But Nick Robertson, like you mentioned, when he's not scoring, there's not much use there. There's not much use there. He's trying to get himself activated physically. You can see it. He's trying, but there is not much use there. And he's not scoring this year. Fact of the matter is he's not, right? So he has 1 goal so far, and I think he's played, I don't know, I think 20 games, something like that. I think he's only been scratched a handful of times. So yeah, not much use there. But Gurbankin, this is kind of what I've been asking from Marner the last couple of playoffs. When you're not scoring, what else are you bringing to the table? Because you have to bring something. Because if you're not, and you're not scoring, you're just a guy on the ice. You're doing cardio. So Gurbankin brings more of that. Like if he's not scoring, which he almost scored tonight, like he looked good offensively, and he was pretty responsible defensively, a diving play, knocking the puck out of the way. And he was everywhere tonight, and the physicality. So he's bringing everything. He's bringing more to the table. So I could see it down the road, but I do think that this is a guy, like this is one game, and the Leafs have had a lot of rest, and yes, they're missing players, but it's one game, and I could see him needing more development as well. But people tend to forget, like I brought up a few minutes ago, like him versus Fraser Minten, who's more ready. It is Gurbankin, because I think people forget Fraser Minten came from the WHL Junior League. Gurbankin won the KHL championship in a professional league last year. So he's ready to go, I think, or close. He's close.
And let's also, Blake with the 279, I agree with you, Nick. I don't like Robertson. I'm not saying, I'm not a huge fan of the player, but thank you for the 279. There was a telling stat here, and if you look at Nikita Gurbankin's stat line, obviously they both haven't scored. At least, Robertson has 1 goal, I think, on the year, and it's an empty netter, if I believe. So, if I recall correctly. But you can see the difference here, and obviously you can't just look at the numbers, but if you actually watch the game, Nikita Gurbenkin, obviously, they both had no goals, no assists. Nikita Gurbenkin only had one shot, Nick Robertson had two. 4 hits to 0. Now, obviously, it doesn't necessarily tell. Hits aren't going to directly, you can kind of just throw your body randomly. But his hits they were felt. Now, whether it was the big hit that probably should have been called a penalty or not, but Nick Robertson's not throwing his body around. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily his fault, but they at least he has other value out there. And ultimately, he stirred up a lot of stuff, which ultimately kind of lended to, maybe it led to the nice, and maybe it didn't, but the team looked like they were ready to fight for each other tonight. They had a great game for Craig Berube to put Benoit in there. It would have also been a great game to have Yanni Akampa in there as well, but I don't know. I just, the trial for me, the course for Nick Robertson is, I think it's starting to run. I think it's starting to run its course for me, and he hasn't been playing well, and his minutes are diminishing each and every night. This is a night where they're without Domi, they're without Austin Matthews, they're without a lot of their guys, and he still didn't even touch the 10-minute mark, where Fraser Minton, making his season debut, put 15, and Nikita Gurbenkin put up 10. So clearly Berube preferred Gurbenkin, rightfully so. He had a better game, and I think Fraser Minton also played better. I don't think Minton's a better player at this point than Robertson necessarily. You can make a case he is, but I don't think he's as ready for it. But I don't know. The other guys just look more ready. And this isn't a shot at Nick Robertson. It's just the way they're playing.
It's just the way that it's going. You're right. And I'm not going to be stubborn on this. I like Nick Robertson, but what we saw tonight is true. And there was times I was watching it, forget the stats, forget the advanced analytics, just the eye test, just watching the game. There were times where, that line, Fraser Minton comes in on the forecheck, he throws a hit, Gurbenkin's throwing a hit.
Do you want to check the impact scorecard as well while we're going?
I will take a look.
Very curious about that.
And on the same shift, Robertson loses a puck battle, and you're like, that's so frustrating, right? Because the other two guys are really going, and I'll take a look at that in a second. But I wanted to touch on the special teams too, Nick, because to start the season, disaster. PK was a disaster. Power play was even more of a disaster. Now the PK's top in the league, or tops in the league. It's not number one. And they were playing the number 1 power play, or number 2, I believe, power play in the entire league in Vegas tonight. Obviously, Vegas didn't score a goal, so I think that's pretty good. And the power play is rolling too. So they look pretty good so far. In the, the last few games, I guess.
Yeah, special teams have been unreal. And someone else who, there was so much going on in tonight's game. And while you find that impact scorecard, Mitch Marner had another 2 assists and played very well in a game where no one really spoke about him because of, you have it? Okay.
I do. I'm sending it over. I'm just taking a look, and it's interesting. I always love looking at these because it kind of does.
Have a good night, Marshall. What's up, Eric? Hope you're doing well, Eric Martin. Good to see you again. What are we saying? Is trade Matthews? No. Though they've been playing better without him. I think once he comes back, the team gets better. I think that's where I'm going to stand for now.
It is a mentality thing where you have to try harder because your best player's out of the lineup. That is that factors into it. Nick, I just sent that over. That does factor into it 100%. But I think when he comes back, it's going to be such a boost that they're really going to play that much better, and they need him, and he'll be back soon. I don't know if he's back Sunday, but I think he's back for the game after that, which I believe is the Florida road trip. So I would just give him as much rest as possible. And if you can keep these 2 young guys in the lineup one more game, I wouldn't mind watching these guys against Utah. Like, they were fun to watch. So they're going to end up going back down, but they were fun. So one more game. But yeah, this is interesting.
Makes a little bit of sense to me. Yeah, we're at 75 likes. If we get 100 likes, I don't know if I think we hit 100 likes once this year in a post-game stream. I think it happened one time, and I think it was the Tampa Bay game. So if you guys want to help us towards that, we can try to get there. Yikes, all of them are awful. So it's interesting. Nylander was the best player on the ice tonight. And again, this doesn't include goaltenders. John Tavares, phenomenal. Mitch Marner, phenomenal. Yep. Everybody played really well. Now, it's funny. It fits into the narrative I'm painting. Nick Robertson is second last. Granted, Nikita Gurbenkin. But it's all almost positive. So it's like...
Yeah, you have to look at the type of player that they are as well, right? And the chart. But
JM, have a good night. Have a good night. It's very
even Morgan Riley. Like, the chart tells you a bit of a story. Like, offensively tonight, I didn't notice him. He wasn't very good. But defensively, I thought he was pretty good. So take the good and the bad, and they find offense from other players like William Nylander.
What a game for William Nylander. That contract is aging better and better every single day. Best game of the year. Yeah, I think this one tops the Lightning one simply because of personnel and the fact that everything that happened, their bounce back. And again, Matthew Nyes, I'm hoping he's okay. I don't know if we have an update on his front. I assume they're just going to say it was an injury. But there's a lot of things. Matthew Nyes, in his very brief time, played very well for what it's worth. But Nikita Grabenkin looks solid. Fraser Minton was above. Obviously, scored a goal.
Yeah. Just to chime in here too, I thought like obviously one of the better games of the year. Obviously 3-0 win against a pretty good team, but like you mentioned earlier in the stream, that they were all like they look like they wanted to fight for each other, and that's something that I could not say the last 6 years, 5-6 years.
I think they want to fight for Berube as well, because I mean he was giving it to the referees after that no call, and this was one of the most entertaining regular season games in years, I would argue.
Long time.
I mean, this was more entertaining than a lot of the postseason games we get, because most of them end up in the Leafs just playing bad hockey. Also, shout out to Benoit. I mean, they were talking about him all over the broadcast. Of course, Benoit had a phenomenal game. We have, of course, I'm going to bring it back out, actually, because I do have it here. Since all the way back to last season, we've, of course, got the Benoit train. So I'm going to make sure here it is. The Benoit train for you all. We were on it for a very long time. Hopefully it's not too loud if it has sound. But the Benoit train, we've been on it. Nyes was kept out as precaution. Good news. Makes sense.
That is good news.
That makes sense. And I want to give a personal shout out to Connor Timmins as well. I've kind of been on. I'm a new Connor Timmins fan.
He's been good.
Right in the middle, and on a game where everybody played phenomenally, to have him right next to guys like OEL, absolutely phenomenal. Benoit was phenomenal, and we're on the train. And the train last season left the station, but we're still on it. So I mean, what a great game for him to come back on that. I missed that animation. I missed it a lot. Robert with the donation. Berube made his mark. Nothing against Keep. Wouldn't have played like this last year. I think you can make a strong case for that. I think they're fighting for Berube. They respect him probably more than they respect. I don't know, like obviously not personally, but I think coaching wise, they respect Berube more than they respect Keefe. And maybe that's part of the reason Robertson's struggling so much. Maybe he just wants to get out of Toronto. He did request a trade after all, so maybe they just gave him what he wanted. And yeah, and again, huge shout out to Benoit for standing up White Club.
Yeah, and I think that is. Wow, Eric coming out.
I love that donation message. Let me play. Get Robertson out of Toronto. Let's get a third center. I agree. I'm on that train. Maybe Darius. I don't know why I played the wrong one. I apologize. Super chat. Thank you so much. Train is never not funny yet. We got more animations coming like that as well. Eric, thank you so much. Your support over the past few streams has been
Eric.
Incredible, and I agree. Get him out.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen right away.
I'll make a train out of Toronto. I'll make a Nick Robertson train going the other way. I will make a personal.
It's going opposite of the Benoit train at Union Station. That's right.
Should we do that? Does the chat want to see that? Do we want to see a Nick Robertson train going out of Union Station instead of coming in? If you want to see that, type yes, and we'll have that done by next stream.
That's hilarious.
That's just fuel my Nick Robertson hate. Not that I hate him, I just don't think he fits, honestly.
Just to add more fuel to the fire, I love Grabenkin. A quote just came out of his. He was asked about the physicality in tonight's game, and he goes, back check, forecheck, paycheck.
Yeah, and he said before the game, if we win, I'll be happy. And he was happy.
And if we lose, I won't be happy. Like, I love the guy. I love the guy.
Replace Nick Robertson.
Fantastic.
That would be hilarious.
I think if the play continues this way, we're looking at that. I think we're looking at a Nick Robertson replacement. Him coming out, somebody who's more useful in that role on the third line coming in. Because Pacioretty's been great. That's where Robertson was supposed to play, and he didn't take the opportunity. So we'll see. I think it's looking more like that. And they need a 3C still, because Minton's not like, as soon as somebody's healthy, he's gone. He's going back to the Marlies. And it's not his fault. He's a great player, but he needs time. So
yeah, we are very close to 100 likes, by the way, which is crazy. So thank you guys for that. And thank you again, Eric, for the donation. Let's get through. I think they need a third line center regardless. And I don't think it's gonna be Minton. So back check forecheck. That's hilarious, actually. Yeah,
that is the oldest one in the book. Like, I don't know who taught him that, but that is hilarious.
The way he plays is absolutely phenomenal. Someone said do a 5 3-stars. I mean, once we get there, it honestly is. It might be
it's gonna be a tough decision. I'll tell you that. Like, this was a good game. This was a really good game.
Yeah, if you remember, throw the Berube animation. What's up? One punch. TJ, that's crazy. I started get that bum out of here. Thumbs up for 100 likes on a Wednesday. Thank you so much, TJ. Your guys' support today is I started this Nick Robertson hate, and I mean, I'm here for it. Not that I hate him, I just don't like him as a player. I don't think he fits the Berube play style. TJ is God, thank you so much, and I will work on the train out of Toronto because it's probably going to happen. No, I don't like. See, I'm going to be rooting for every player on the Leafs, and every single game Robertson plays, I want him to play well because that encourages the Leafs to win. I just am not entirely sold on him, being a valuable piece for this current team. Thank you so much, TJ.
Now, John brings up some interesting points. What if they go out and trade for a third line center? That's maybe Ryan O'Reilly or Brock Nelson, which we've heard lots of rumors about. Evgeny Malkin, which a lot of people tend to hate, and I don't understand that because he's Evgeny Malkin, or Yanni Gord. And we have heard some rumors. I think there's another player that I like better that could play third line center, and we'll get to that in a video maybe tomorrow, Nick. But I think there's some options out there, and I think that's what they're looking at. And if Robertson continues to play this way, and again, he needs to play with better players to put up goals. It goes both ways. It's a two-way street. Like, he needs to play with better players and needs more time to put up goals, but he's not playing well, so he's not going to get that opportunity. It's a two-way street. But if he keeps playing like this, he's not long for this team because you can't have a third liner playing like that. You're going to need somebody with a more defined role. So we'll see what happens here, but he's going to be in the lineup because of the injuries. So they're not going to make a move anytime soon. I think.
Yeah. Even Patches. Yeah, Patches is out too. He's going to be returning at Jim with the 100. Well, not with the 100. Jim with the 20. Sorry. Jim with the 100 likes. 100 likes. Go boys. Robertson get out of town train. All aboard. I just have my face on that. Not Darius wants to keep him. Thank you so much, Jim. You're a legend. Everybody in here tonight. Are we at 100 likes?
Jim.
I think we are close. We're at 99 on mine. Mine might be a little bit delayed. Thank you so much, Jim.
You'll be the one driving the train with Robertson in the train, and I'll be at the station like trying to get you to stop. That's what the animation will be.
That's actually what it should be.
Yeah.
Blake Sim with the $13.99. He doesn't hit. He is too soft. Get him out of here too. We can spend that money on something else. And I agree. Hit the like button and subscribe. Go Leafs go. Thank you guys for the 100 likes. I think we're at 99. I think mine might not be fully updated. Thank you so much, Blake. Everybody, you guys' support is crazy tonight. I don't even know what to say. I mean,
Everyone's in a good mood.
We'll get on the Nick Robertson train out of town. I do think that does need to happen though, and I think it honestly will happen by the deadline. But thank you so much. We did hit 100.
We
did hit 100 likes. We did it. I'm gonna put on the hat for the 100 likes. Haven't put out the hat in a couple weeks.
I missed the hat.
Remember the hat?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's brought out for very special occasions. It's brought out for wins. And
let's go.
Mainly big wins. Thank you so much for the 100 likes. The massive Leafs Digest top hat. If you're new here and you haven't seen this, it's a bit ridiculous. Comes out on special occasions, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. It hurts the head, so I don't usually put it on very often, but I think it's a big one tonight.
I haven't seen the hat in a while. I missed it. It's pretty. It's large. It's a large hat.
Yeah, it's actually massive.
It holds a lot of magic. I think Leafs magic.
That's what it is. Maybe I'm jinxing it though because I haven't put it on, and also. You put the Domi back, the jersey back, and he's still yet to score.
That's right. I put it back because a couple of things here. Well, I'll explain myself. Domi, I think I've been too hard on him. He was injured, so the jersey's going back up on the wall. Also, it was Hall of Fame weekend when I put the Sundin jersey up, so I thought it would be like a fun little thing for that. So Sundin came down, and I also wore that Sundin jersey to hockey the other day, so I wasn't gonna put it back. I wasn't gonna put it back up on the wall after that, But no, Domi, I think I've been too hard on him. I do think he has to get going, but the fact that he is injured, I think he's going to get going, and we'll get some good luck for him going there. Put him on the wall. Hopefully he gets going there.
Nick, bring the hat when you come to Toronto in the new year. Do you think this would fit in a...
There's not.
I'm only bringing a carry-on, and... So.
That would be the entire thing. That is your carry-on. You would put your clothes in the hat. Yeah, that's right.
It is actually true.
Yeah. Works out perfectly that way.
From Freeman, Leafs would require Predators. Philip Myers. No world. Every wall shutout he has, stack a puck on it. That's actually interesting.
That's a good idea, actually.
So
we got 2 pucks so far this season. So,
and the hat is in full display now with the new OBS with the new setup we have going. So just wear it so people can laugh. That's the goal. I'll walk downtown Toronto. And remember, if you see me in downtown Toronto and I have this on, I would hope. I mean, people will laugh. People have no idea what is going on. That is a great idea. I should definitely do that. That would be an excellent TikTok or something.
Walking billboard.
For Leafs Digest. How many days is Nyes injured for? He should be back next game, I think, on Sunday. That's what it seems like.
If it was precautionary, then I would.
You never really know, though.
He'll be back. Yeah, you never know. But I think if it's precautionary, I think you should be back. You should be back Sunday, I hope.
Got you with the glasses.
Should we do our 3 stars actually? Is it about that time?
Yeah, we can get into our 3 stars of the night, which means we get our glasses out. And again, 3 stars is probably not doing anybody justice at this point. I'll let you start because I have no idea. There's so many stars that it could be.
This
mind.
Is an interesting.
We're holding on.
We'll
We're holding on to that. We're holding on to that because Eric comes in with the massive super chat. Thank you so much. I've been watching Alex Nylander in the Marlies. He plays exactly like Willie. Massive OT goal the other night, and I believe he has the most points in the squad. Give him an NHL contract. I think we're not too far away from an Alex NHL contract. Thank you so much, Eric, for the donation. It means the world.
Alex Nylander is an NHL player in the AHL for some reason. Like, I think I understand why he signed here on an AHL contract to be closer to his brother. And so he doesn't, he's not a fringe player in a different organization. He's an NHL player. I just don't know if he fits in on the team besides injuries. But it looks like it could be. If Nyes goes out, I don't know who else you're calling up. Like, you're going to have to sign this guy to an NHL contract. So we'll see. I think they're like 1 or 2 injuries away from like having to have him on the team. But he's been crazy in the AHL. He scored another crazy goal. Like, his shot is unbelievable. So I think we'll see him at some point. Yeah.
Eric, your support's been crazy. Nick, you have to fly to Toronto? Yes, I do. I have a bunch of family in Toronto. I'm there fairly often. But
to be fair, if you live in Toronto, it's getting to the point that you have to fly to Toronto anyway. So traffic is getting that bad. But
I'll be there soon, though. I will be in Toronto soon. I'm there multiple times a year. Alex wants to play with Willie. He keeps saying that he's going to get a chance. I completely agree. Eric, thank you again for the donation. We Leaf Digest to the moon.
That's right.
That's the goal. That is the goal. And working. I think we have 2 videos today for you all. 2 videos and a stream.
Mm-hmm.
Not stopping.
Lots of content. Do you want me to start with my 3 stars here? Okay, so I'm going to go. This was a hard one because there's so many. Honestly, could be so many honorable mentions. I'm going to give my honorable mention today to Steven Lorentz for blocking those shots. Unsung hero. I thought he played a great game. So my 3rd star, I'm going to give to Joseph Woll. Shutout tonight. Thought he played fantastic. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to say. I thought he played fantastic, and I'm glad that he's feeling better, and he's just doing his thing. He's a great goaltender, and the Leafs goaltending is finally not a problem. Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm gonna give mine to Fraser Minton. First game of the season, he got a goal. Phenomenal game from him. And again, he wasn't the best player on the ice tonight, but for his first game of the season, he absolutely put a statement win out there. So massive goal for Fraser, and 3rd star. He cracked the stars in his first game. So
yep. No, he was fantastic. And I'm going to give my 2nd star to William Nylander. He was everywhere, all over the ice, creating chances. I loved his patience with the puck tonight. I took over the game at some point, so he was fantastic. I'm going to give him my 2nd star of the game.
I am also giving my 2nd star of the game to William Nylander for the exact same reasons. Probably, I think he was the best offensive player on the ice tonight, and ultimately secured and drove the lines like he's been doing in lieu of Matthews being out. So Nylander's my number 2.
Yep. And my 1st star could be a little controversial, but I don't think so, because it was a nice night for him because he gets his first NHL goal. It's going to be Fraser Minton, my 1st star of the night. Again, I don't know how many games he's going to play in the NHL this year. Gets on the board. It was a nice goal, and I'm glad that he got it and the opportunity to play. And underratedly, like TJ saying, bringing the boom. Like, he was in on the forecheck. Love that. So, no, he was great. And Gurbankin was too, in terms of younger guys, but Fraser Minton scored.
Yeah, mine's gonna be Joseph Woll. And again, I'm a huge Anthony Stolarz guy. I've been an Anthony Stolarz truther for a while, but huge game out of Joseph Woll, and he ultimately helped them win this game. And 31 saves on 31 shots against him. A lot of them high danger as well. It wasn't a cakewalk for him at all. So I think Woll gets that pretty clearly for me, especially because I haven't given him a star yet this season. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to him while I can. Honorable mention to Steven Lorentz. Honorable mention to Chris Tanev. Honorable mention to Simon Benoit. He probably should have got on there on one of our lists realistically, but I mean, there's only so many players we could put on at all. And yeah, Woll played phenomenally. He gets my 1st star of the night. And now we look ahead to Sunday against Utah, which again, I know the streams have been few and far between because of how little the Leafs have been playing. I mean, you obviously had one Saturday. I wasn't there. I think my last stream would have been Thursday maybe. So
yeah,
it was
the Washington game.
Yeah. So I mean, they play again Sunday. Quiet rest of November, but if you're enjoying the streams, December is going to be, like we talk about if you watch our videos, absolutely nuts. December is going to be insane. I think they play 4 times a week, multiple times throughout the month, and
Yeah, oh yeah, every
we're
week.
going to be live almost like you can basically almost every day we're going to be live. So, I mean, it's the time to
Come hang
hop on
out.
the Benoit train and the Leafs Digest train as well if you're new. I'm seeing a lot of new faces tonight, so
Yep.
we love that.
The other thing I wanted to mention in terms of the game that I noticed in the third period that I thought was really noticeable, the shifts were short and they were rolling. Like it would just be like throw a couple hits, chip it in,
Thank
make
you, Eric.
Vegas skate for it. Thank you, Eric, again. Yeah, make Vegas skate for the puck, make them work for it, get off the ice. And they were like 30-second shifts and they were just rolling and rolling and rolling. And I would see the same guy out there like a minute and a half, 2 minutes later. Like, and usually it's more spread out. And they were just, maybe that's a little bit of an extreme
Take it easy,
time
John, as well.
line, but thank you for tuning in, John. But they were just rolling. That's a Berube change. I've never seen that. I haven't seen that with this group. So that was a Berube change. And if they keep that up, I was not worried at all tonight. Like this is so refreshing where they get up, get these leads. Like maybe at 1-0, I was a little concerned, but after they went up 2-0, I was not concerned at all. Just the way they were playing, they were rolling. They weren't giving up too many high danger chances. I thought they played great, and they're doing this without like majority of their players, like a majority of their starting players. So they were great. I love that. That was something that really stood out to me.
Yeah, the team is absolutely they look dominant tonight. And they just look. It was a great win, one of the better wins that we have seen. Have a good night, Caleb, as well.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
mean it was just a great win overall. Just one of the better ones. Like I don't know what else to say. Top to bottom, it was great, and I feel like we didn't see many of these last year.
No,
There was a few of them, probably, but again, Nikita Gurbankin said, "I like it." He said, "I like it's hard hockey. Team likes hard hockey. It's chip nice back check. Yep." So interesting. He
there's another quote that just came out too, where he was thanking everyone. He was like, "This was nice for me to get into the lineup. Thank you, general manager. Thank you, coach. Thank you."
we
Like I
love
just
the
love the
guy.
guy. This guy's a beauty, man. I love him. Fantastic.
And the question now is who plays on Sunday? 109 likes new record. I would think so. 110 now. I think that's probably the new stream record. Yep.
Probably. Yeah.
Um,
Thank you, everyone, for that. That's
yeah,
awesome. On a random Wednesday game, I know a lot happened, but
it was the
this is awesome.
craziest game, but also the Leafs have been not playing that much. I think we were all itching for Leafs hockey. At
Yeah.
least I've been, and I've been itching to get back on the streams. And I think this is like again, it shouldn't happen too much the rest of the year. Them being not playing this much, like they're barely playing. So again, we go live after every game, so them not playing for a week feels very weird.
It is very this like rarely happens unless it's like the Olympics or All-Star game or a bye week. Like
And we
they'll
have
get a
All-Star
bye
break
week.
kind of coming up too, the bye week. Like there's gonna be times where it's like this. We will be live during the bye week. Probably just like
Yeah.
a round table type thing, but
We'll probably do something around the what do they call it? The Four Nations Cup as well, because there's gonna be a lot of Leafs in there. They released like projected lineups today, and there's gonna be a lot of Leafs in there. So we'll probably do something revolving around that too. They're gonna have a bye week too, but bye weeks like you can expect them. This where you're just kind of waiting around for a game in the middle of the week, and then now that they played and they don't play again till Sunday, like
and they
that's
played
weird.
so good.
And they played well, and we just got to sit on this like high till Sunday.
Which is
So
good
hopefully
though.
they
Which
follow
is
it
good. At
up.
least we're not sitting on a
Yeah,
low. And again, they're now 1 point. They have the exact same record. I mean, they only have one game in hand on the Florida Panthers. They have one more overtime loss, and that game against the Bruins where they lost, but they got that extra point from Austin Matthews. That's what's keeping them ahead of the Panthers right now. So the
yeah.
Panthers lose. I assume they play tomorrow, but I'll double check. Yeah, so if the Panthers lose tomorrow against the Blackhawks, doubtful. But if they do,
that's that's a tough matchup
if they
there.
do, they'll maintain top. Please show clips of Gurbankin. We there's a lot of them on a
These
Wednesday.
aren't clips. These are reporters getting
Yeah,
quotes. These are from reporters on Twitter right now. Yeah, I don't think there's the Leafs might release actually video later tonight at some point, but that's where I'm getting them right now. It's pretty funny. Funny
December
guy.
will be insane. It will be. It'll be insane for the channel as well. And keep in
Should
mind,
we I'll get that for you.
yeah, get the schedule.
December,
We'll go over
the
the schedule a little
schedule.
bit before we wrap up because we also have, of course, the trade deadline as that approaches. It's always a crazy time. We will also, I mean, I'll just say now for everyone's in here, trade deadline day we will be live probably for the last hour or two, counting until the trade deadline surpasses. So from a couple hours before to the end of the trade deadline content will be electric as well. So I mean, there's a lot of things. This is just the beginning, but it's a big one because 12-6-1. They were 6-6, I think, or not. They weren't 6-6. They were something like that.
No,
They were
yeah,
500. I don't know. Remember, it seems like so long ago. They haven't
close.
won 6 in a row, but it was yeah. I mean, and hopefully until December. Yeah, again, December's going to be absurd, but again, it's fine. But Freeman breaking a trade. He might be talking about just rumors. I'll check though. Don't think there is a trade right now.
I will double check that. I don't think that's the case, but I just sent over the schedule and we can go through the schedule as well. Fraser Minton gets the belt tonight, so that's awesome. First goal. Awesome.
First career goal, right? Yeah.
First career NHL goal, yeah. Not his first game. I think he played 4 games last year.
It was 4. Yeah, it was 4. And then they sent him 4 or 5. It may have been 5, and they sent him back down. And he did not look very good at all.
Gerbenkin walks into the media availability and just goes, "Go Leafs, go."
He's loving life. Rightfully so. He was literally just out there fighting almost everybody, which was incredible to see. And you absolutely love to see it. And yes, we'll also have Collins for next stream as well. Or it should be available for Sunday. And again, they're a bit harder to moderate and manage. Make sure, again, no swearing, anything like that on the Collins would be appreciated. It always gets a little bit reckless at times, but hopefully for Sunday. If not, we'll do some sort of Collins stream during the middle of a week or something like that, and things like that. Did you send the schedule? Here we go.
I do. Yeah, I just sent it over. I don't see anything about Friedman.
No, I don't think there's a move. It would be a
not
weird
at this point in time, but it would maybe not now, but
moves are gonna happen.
Something's gonna happen probably soon. They need another piece. We know that. Like even when everyone's healthy, they need another piece.
More so than they did last year.
Well,
in the sense of they're actually gonna make a move. I think
last year they could have used an entire blue line, but
they have a more direct. I mean, again, they have
more direct needs this year. I think where it's like that's one hole you have to fill. Last year was kind of like I don't even know if this team's good enough, but.
So if you're curious about the Shane, I promise. If you're curious about the schedule for upcoming December, the Leaf schedule and our schedule, I guess it will be starting early. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Which is a bit wild, honestly.
Their longest break in December is 3 days, and that's Christmas, so I'm not going to count that.
And we'll be live on Christmas Eve because we promised them a Christmas Eve live stream.
Yes.
So
we'll have a video on Christmas as well. So if anyone, I know sometimes like I love spending time with family, and then obviously Christmas dinner and all that, or whatever traditions that everyone has. But sometimes I get bored. Like yes, the NBA's on. But like I'm like I need something, I need something. So we're gonna have.
There will be a Christmas Day video. There definitely will be, and I don't know how much news there'll be on Christmas Day, but I will have the Christmas lights going for the Christmas Eve stream. We'll have the Christmas lights going as well, on the maybe my background Christmas tree or something like that. But yeah, they play Blackhawks, Predators, Capitals, Penguins. Should be 3 wins there, at the very least, maybe 4. Devils, Ducks, Red Wings. More like their schedule's pretty easy, especially the first 7 games there. I could see a world go 6-1. And then again, as they start to get closer, the Jets game is still marked. Who knows how good the Jets will be? The Jets will still be then. An afternoon game on the day before Christmas Eve. And then, of course, you're off Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and then you get right into it again. And crazy how dead the schedule is now for the Leafs compared to here. Jim, that around the dinner table,
awesome.
Just Darius and I
love it
on the screen.
Yeah, they need to take a break from Josh and Jesse over there on Habs Digest. They need some Leafs Digest.
Yeah, well, we can,
I'm pretty shocked, honestly. It's not just how busy the schedule is, it's the fact that not only do they have a ton of back-to-backs, like I think 3 right this month. Yeah,
you're gonna see a lot of us. Yeah,
no, 4 back-to-backs. Sorry, they have 4 back-to-backs that month, and 3 of them are on a Friday, Saturday. Like that is wild.
Where's the other one?
It's on the Sunday. They play the Saturday against Detroit, and then they play Buffalo at home on that Sunday. So it's a back-to-back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Detroit. I was like, oh, wow, they get a Friday off. They actually get a Friday off in December, but it's still a back-to-back Friday, Sunday. It's crazy. Crazy. So many 4 back-to-backs.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't even see that. That was messing with my eyes so much. The 14th and the 15th. That is absurd. That is
Yeah.
absurd.
I think this is an interesting point from Stuart too. This might be I honestly, like, I've been thinking about this recently too. This could be the Leafs' best defensive core ever. Like, in the history of the team, like 109 years or whatever it is. It could be, it's not 109 years, but whatever it is, 107 years. But it could be the best Leafs core of all time. Like maybe 93. I don't even think
core.
02 was that good. Defensive core, yes. Even forward group, like all at once, like it's pretty good. Like they had Gilmore and Clark.
Let's win some playoff games first.
Yeah. But no, in the playoffs, you gotta step it up in the playoffs. That's for sure. That's what people remember, and that's why people remember those eras. But, yeah.
There's a lot of a video tomorrow.
McCarron would be good.
Yeah.
You'll
probably see a video on a trade tomorrow in some capacity. But I mean, December's gonna be busy. Hopefully, we'll have Collins on the go, and then. Oh, there's a lot going on. But any final thoughts, everybody, before we wrap up? It's almost 1 a.m. where I am, so we'll. That game was late. Obviously, they started, I think, 15 minutes late. You had a ton of penalties, a ton of whistles, a ton of fighting, a ton of everything. But it culminated in probably the best stream of the year for us. Probably the best stream.
Most definitely the best stream.
Yeah, the best stream of the year. So thank you, everybody who did tune in. Any final thoughts from Darius? More you guys and my girlfriend just seem pleased with that arrangement.
That's hilarious. I think obviously great game. Hopefully Nyes is okay, which we think he is, and Gurbankin is a beauty. Wool with another shutout. Obviously the game went way too late. We didn't even mention the Argos won the Grey Cup and they were honored before the game, which I thought was pretty cool. But like, if honor them at 7:00, not at 7:30, and then start the game at 7:50. Like it was a bit too late. But
shout out to the Argos though.
Yeah, shout out Argos. So there was a good game on Sunday actually, but I think honor them maybe a little bit, sooner, not right before puck drop.
Oh, who gets the belt tonight? Are you ahead of Habs Dodgers yet? We're not. We're on their tails though. We are on
Close.
We're on their tails. Who gets the belt tonight? Fraser Minton actually got the belt.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Robert. You always hit with the buzzer beater.
I know. We're about to log off, and Robert's like, "Hold on a second. 1 second here." It feels like every stream. Hold on a second.
Not from Toronto, respect it more. I mean, diehard Leafs families and a lot of families in Toronto. So, there's a good world where I'm there, living there in the somewhat near future. So it's I'm gonna be there soon, probably sooner than I initially thought. So if we'll, I don't think the Leafs are gonna play when I'm there, which is very unfortunate. I was gonna go to a game in January, but I mean, we'll be going.
Oh boy, here we go.
Jim on the last donation of the night. Well, Jim, I think you got it. I think you're safe. Thank you, Jim.
Jim with the Stone Cold Steve Austin glass shatter at the last second. Yeah.
Thank you again, Robert. The belt goes to Fraser. That's who the Leafs gave it to. And,
well deserved, I think. First game, played well, scored. It's good.
Yeah, literally. Legends with the donos. Yeah, they are. This has been an incredible stream. Paul, I know. I go there a lot, and it never gets cheaper. It never gets cheaper. Especially
Toronto is so expensive.
Like the flights from where I live are crazy expensive, but it's not too far. I'll be there soon, and maybe one of you guys will see me in the streets in downtown Toronto. Okay, never mind. Eric. So Eric got the. Thank you so much, Eric, for the first 99. No message on that one. I guess
no.
Okay. I mean, I guess we technically have the power of who gets the last donation here.
That's right. We could wrap it up right now.
Jim from downtown at the buzzer.
That's funny. Yeah, Eric, legend. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Eric, you're
appreciate that. Yeah, you've been around for a long time too. A lot of new faces here tonight. I saw, but a lot of people, a lot of returning viewers as well. And we appreciate you all. This Jim, that's hilarious.
Still. All right, maybe just I guess. I guess Jim is.
We might need like Jim the buzzer beater like emoji available. We might have to make something like that up.
Robert also does a buzzer beater too. They're all.
That's right.
Okay, I think Jim got it. But again, thank you to everybody who has been supporting. But was Paul. It is expensive up there. But again, if you see me in the streets, which might happen when I'm there, you'll see Darius and myself. Maybe we'll meet some of you all. That's why I wish I was in Toronto more.
No, it's fun. It's just a very expensive city. It's hard to do much around here consistently, at least. But
Luckily, I have
yeah,
family, so I don't have to save some on the because the hotels are crazy expensive too. I remember
yeah,
a guy at the Rogers Center came up to me and said he watches Leafs Digest, which is kind of funny considering I do Jays Digest. But I was
the Jays
in
digest.
Rogers Center.
Yeah.
Eric, take it easy. Have a great night. Sarah and I'll have a great night. Paul,
Thank
thank
you,
you for
Paul.
tuning in. All right. Well, probably, I mean, it was the best stream of the year. And we'll be back Sunday. And we'll also
Yeah,
be back tomorrow for a video. So if you want more Leafs content, video earlier today, 2 videos earlier today. So I guess one a few hours ago and then one earlier this morning. And Leafs Digest meetup. Yeah, I
I
mean,
think it could happen in the future. Yeah, for sure.
how would that where would we meet up would be the question.
I mean, ideally at a game, but I'm sure we
Yeah,
could figure it
but
out
that also
otherwise.
limits the people who because
Right.
tickets are
Yeah.
extremely expensive. I'm down for a meetup. I've been thinking about that, but I don't know exactly like where that would occur. Like a
I mean,
restaurant maybe or
there is a
something.
world where we do a restaurant if they're playing on the road, right? Something like
And
that.
watch
Like you
the
could
game.
definitely, yeah, even if they play at home. But
Eric said bye and then sniped. Meet at a Chuck's Roadhouse. We could. That would be a good idea, actually. Meeting up somewhere where the game is on TV.
like they would play the game. Yeah. Yeah.
$4 beer. Good night, Josh. Me and a Chuck's. I'll rent a bar. Something like that. It would be an event for sure. It would
Yeah.
be, and again, we'd have to actually gauge interest because it'd be funny, ironic, renting a bar and there being like 4 people.
4 people, and 2 of them are you
Us.
and I.
So that'd of course gauge just a Leafs. It'd be a Leafs watch along in person.
100%.
It'd be a
Yes.
Leafs watch along in person, and we'd probably find a way to go live from there. Do something maybe from our phone or
Absolutely,
something
yeah.
from that. That'd be a electric one. But yeah, that'd be I was thinking about that today actually, especially because I'm not there as much. It's obviously easier for you to. Leaf Square, is that open during the regular season?
Maybe no, they don't show the games, but you can walk there.
I was waiting for that one. I was waiting for it. Jim, not today. Jim, that's your 20th super chat, by the way. I'm gonna have to get a gym animation.
I'm telling you, Jim's gonna get his own emoji. It's
a
happening.
gym donation animation. Is there? I don't think that restaurant even exists anymore. I don't think.
No, I don't think
The
there
Bigs
is.
now.
There was another one. I can't remember. There was one in St. Catharines as well. I can't remember what it was called. There was another hockey player that owned it.
Thank you
Escapes me
again,
right
Jim.
now.
Yeah, but we can definitely do a some sort of meetup for sure. I mean, if there's interest in it, and I have a feeling there would be. I would watch the Leafs game on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm up there. Should be up there in January, so maybe we plan something around that. If not, I'm back up there in May.
Yeah.
So maybe May, but May. Are they still? I'm trying to figure out.
They might be in the playoffs. They were in the playoffs last year in May, so there is a possibility.
That'd be electric.
And ideally, they're in the playoffs in May. Ideally, they're in the second round or third round. So, yeah.
Yeah, so somewhere around there. So yeah, I mean, it'll either be January or May. Maybe like later for the official meetup. I mean, Shane, again, if you're around, we can still, meet up in gym or whoever. I mean, you can still do it unofficially. Especially we'll be in the downtown. I mean, I will be, and Darius will meet up with the classic Go train. I've learned how to use those.
Yeah.
All right, anything? Don Cherry isn't doing very well. Hope that's not true. Yeah, I hope that's not true either.
No, hopefully not. I haven't heard anything about that, but hopefully not. Obviously, hope everyone's in good health all the time, but that's tough. But I haven't seen anything about that, so hopefully not true.
All right, electric stream. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. I mean, everybody. I can't really thank you, Shane. Everybody who tuned in. All the donations. Eric, Blake. I'm scrolling up. Eric, Robert, everybody. TJ as well. TJ, shout out to you. Incredible stream. And again, we'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, like usual, every single day. And stream wise, we will be back for it was the technically the winner. We'll be back for the stream on Sunday. I'll certainly be there if you guys organize something. Yeah, it would probably just be like a restaurant or something. We'll think of something. And it seems a lot of people
think up of
interested,
something,
though.
and we'll gauge some interest, and we'll take it from there. But I'm thinking that's probably what it's going to be, like a watch along at a restaurant or something like that, along those lines.
That'd be
But
fun.
you'll hear from us. Like
it'll
we'll
be a pretty
get
big
together.
thing, I'm sure. So
Yeah,
it would have to be arranged.
You'll
but
know.
we'll work on that, and we will see you guys in tomorrow's video. But also, again, Sunday stream after the game. I'm assuming it's a night game. I hope. because otherwise, when do you know when they're
No,
time?
it is. It's a 7 o'clock start. Yeah, yeah. No, it's
All right, I'll be there. Boston
not
Pizza. I do love Boston Pizza. I absolutely.
that would be interesting. Yeah.
That sounds phenomenal. Actually, they definitely forecheck, back check, paycheck. Yep.
Back
All
check.
right, a lot of
forecheck,
people seem
paycheck.
interested in it. All right, we'll work on it behind the scenes. We'll work on it behind the scenes and definitely get something. Love this community. Yeah, it's a
Grateful
best,
for everyone.
best
This
Leafs
is
community.
awesome. Robert with the buzzer.
I think it's
our
time.
fault. It's our fault, Nick, because we continue to talk.
How leafy would it be to lose by a shutout against Utah? I was literally we were about to end it. I mean, it would be. Not gonna happen. We're not gonna put that into Robert. Thank you so much. I that's crazy. I didn't even. That was right at the end. We gotta get that captain on the crew.
That's right. Yeah, we gotta update that as well because he is
Jim. Jim, I just don't think it's your night to get the. I don't think it's your night to get the last one. I was literally. You were about to have it too.
I would like to know how many nights Jim is the last one though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, we haven't been keeping track, but I would say most of them. So we appreciate you, Jim.
Yeah, Jim, we do. But yeah, Boston Pizza, something like that would be neat, and somewhere that shows the game, and hopefully it's a good game, and
hopefully,
hopefully I don't know if I should wait for it, Jim. Everybody's adding Jim. I feel bad doing that.
I know. Yeah, don't.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
thank you, Jim. Though we
Eric is still here too. Everyone, well, it's okay, Rob or Jim. You got it in most of them, but all right, we'll be in touch. See you guys all on Sunday, and we'll work on some sort of meetup when we are in Toronto, whether that's January or, of course, later in the summer. But we'll learn, love to digest. Hopefully, we see every single one of you on that stream Sunday, and it can be just as electric as this one. But yeah, you guys are the best, and we will see you all in a few days. But tomorrow's video, it's going to be a good one. Make sure to check it out.
Thank you, everyone.
Digest your daily dose of gold. Stories of the bold where legends aren't told. From first pop drop to the season's full. Tune in.